Hey guys, Mike here from Movie Nation.
And today we're going through a 2021 horror movie called The Cursed. The movie begins at the Battle of the Somme in 1917. A wounded British captain is brought into a medical tent with wounds to his abdomen. During surgery, the surgeon discovers and removes an additional bullet made of silver and not of German design. A woman arrives at an estate to check on a man and the maid tells her that he is not doing too well. While looking at some of the old pictures in the house, she flashes back to 35 years earlier. 35 years earlier, on the estate, the lady of the house supervises the kids and the maids while her husband, the land baron Seamus Laurent, hunts on the estate. A Roma clan, foreseeing impending danger, cast a set of silver dentures in the form of a wolf's fangs for their protection. Back in Baron Seamus's estate, a couple of town elders discuss the encroachment of the Roma clan upon their land. They suggest that they use mercenaries to wipe out the Roma clan. Seamus leads the attack on the clan, and during the attack, some of the Roma leaders are captured and eliminated. In a bid to make an example of two of the clan's elders, they maim the male elder and erect him as a scarecrow to serve as a warning to others who may try to settle the land. The alive female elder is buried with the silver fangs clutched in her grasp. Afterward, Seamus' daughter, Charlotte, is plagued by nightmares of the Roma scarecrow and the silver fangs. A young pathologist named John McBride arrives in the town and seeks accommodation in an inn. He is approached by the town's Lieutenant Molière, who asks what his mission in town was. Molière asks how long he will be staying and states that they might need a pathologist. John rejects the offer. Seamus' son, Edward, also has a similar nightmare of the Roma scarecrow and silver fang. While playing one day, one of the town's boys named Timmy reveals to the other children that he knows the location of the nightmare scarecrow, swearing them all to secrecy, particularly Edward and Charlotte, whose father would banish Timmy's family if he discovered their actions. Timmy leads the children to the scarecrow. Upon arriving at the scarecrow, Timmy is overcome with the urge to dig up the silver fangs. Edward attempts to stop Timmy, but before he can, Timmy retrieves the fangs and puts them in his mouth. Timmy then attacks Edward, viciously biting Edward's throat as the other children flee in terror. Charlotte flees to her family's estate and alerts everyone present. Seamus quickly recovers Edward, who is injured. He asks the servants to get the doctor, who tells Edward's parents that he believes Edward was attacked by a wild animal and gives him some medicine to calm him down. Charlotte, fearing for Timmy and his family, does not reveal what occurred. Edward grows seriously ill. During the night, Charlotte awakes to Edward's screams and finds him ensnared by wood-like vines emerging from his body. Charlotte flees to her parents, but when they return, Edward has disappeared into the night. The next day, Seamus organizes the town men into a search party for Edward but is unsuccessful. Molière approaches John and informs him of the missing boy. He also tells him about the attack on the Roma clan and tells him it could be related to what John was looking for. In the next scene, Charlotte goes to the local church to pray and encounters Timmy, who claims he has no memory of what happened after digging up the silver fangs and fears for Edward now that he has disappeared. Charlotte reassures Timmy that his family is safe. When Charlotte asks Timmy what he did with the silver fangs, he reveals he's hidden them in the church. He then reads to Charlotte from the book of Ezekiel and suggests the silver molded into the fangs is sourced from the same 30 pieces of silver paid to Judas for his betrayal of Jesus. When Charlotte's maid discovers them in the confessional, Timmy flees to the forest where he sees a figure he believes is the missing Edward and goes after him. He is attacked by an unseen beast but escapes into an abandoned shack. The beast comes after him and takes him out. In the next scene, Molière and John unite with Seamus, who requested their help finding Edward. Seamus reveals that the situation has grown more complicated and takes them to the abandoned shack where they discover Timmy's body. John deems the result of a wild animal attack. Molière, believing nothing more can be done, returns to the town, but John offers to stay to assist Seamus. Seamus hosts John in his manor as John investigates what happened to Edward. Seamus tells him how the incident happened, including the biting incident. Seamus also reiterates how important solving the mystery is and then introduces him to his wife, Isabel. John inspects Edward's room and also the other parts of the house. He instructs Seamus to have all the first-floor doors and windows of his house boarded and that no one in the house or village should go outside alone without an armed escort. Despite his doubts, Seamus agrees. That night, John has a nightmare where he finds himself in front of the scarecrow and discovers the buried fang. Later that night, John gets samples of Edward's blood that dripped on the door as he fled and examines it. During his examination, John finds out that Edward's blood bonds with his own and also converts his blood cells, confirming his suspicions. Seamus' house is visited by a wolf, but it is unable to gain entry. John offers to track down and hunt the creature, which he believes to be a wolf. Seamus tells him that he has to consult the town's elders. At the meeting with the elders, he tells them of the mission and advises them to stay in their house and board up the doors. Afterward, 3 townspeople who drew short straws enter the fields to work despite their fear of being attacked. The woman amongst them, Anne-Marie, discovers that one of the men has been taken out by the wolf. The wolf attacks her, but she is saved by the 3rd worker who asks her to run away. Anne-Marie manages to flee to town and warn them of what occurred. Upon hearing Anne-Marie survive her attack but was bitten, John rapidly heads to the town but is too late to prevent an already transforming Anne-Marie from escaping. Realizing that the infection is out of control, John has the town elders gather everyone to and fortify the church as he sets out to hunt the beasts. Later that night, John and Isabel talk about John's family. He tells her that his village and his family were taken out by a wolf. Isabel tries to tell him about the Roma clan, but they are interrupted by Seamus. John tells him that he will set up the traps to catch the beast the next day. While setting up the traps, John discovers the scarecrow he saw in his nightmare. At the abandoned shack, where Timmy was taken out, John is attacked by one of the beasts. He is able to trap and take it out. He brings the bodies to Seamus' stable where he has Seamus and the town elders conduct an autopsy. Cutting open the beast, Anne-Marie, seemingly alive, begins to emerge screaming from inside. John insists that she cannot be saved and has one of the town elders take her out. Horrified by the event, Seamus fears the same fate has befallen Edward. Edward begs him not to tell Isabel what they just saw. John tells them that the land has been cursed because of what they did to the Roma clan. Afterward, Seamus leads a hunting party to track down the final beast. Isabel reveals her husband's atrocity to John and thus the origin of the curse. Charlotte informs John of the Silver Fang's location. He retrieves the fangs and asks that word be sent to Molière to call for the army. Meanwhile, back at the Seamus manor, the beast attacks and bites Seamus' maid while she is outside doing laundry. She survives the attack but hides her wound from the family. John melts the silver fangs into 4 silver bullets just as Seamus returns from his failed hunt. At dinner, the maid begins to slowly transform. John surveys the property from the 2nd floor of the manor and notices the bloody linen left behind from the attack on the maid. Before he can pursue this new information, he falls into an argument with Seamus, who orders John to leave the house the next day. John tells him that he will be staying at the house till the army arrives. During the night, the maid continues to transform in her bedroom on the top floor. Seamus investigates the noise and is attacked by the maid. A candlestick gets knocked over and sets the room on fire in the process. Seamus successfully takes out the maid, but he gets bitten in the process. He flees to the stables with John in pursuit, leaving the manor doors open in their wake. In the stable, Seamus, knowing he is doomed to transform and attack his family, sets himself on fire in front of John. Meanwhile, the fire in the maid's room has spread and the manor is beginning to burn down. Isabel and Charlotte attempt to escape but encounter the last beast. They narrowly avoid the beast and escape the manor with John as they flee to the town church. At the church, John, Isabel, and Charlotte are rescued by the townspeople and take refuge, planning to hunt the beast again in the morning. During the night, after everyone has fallen asleep, Isabel goes to pray and hears Edward's voice calling to her from outside the barricaded church doors. Isabel undoes the barricade, letting the beast into the church, where it proceeds to eliminate town elders and townspeople alike. John attempts to attack the beast with a silver bullet, but Isabel intentionally stands between him and the beast, calling to her son. As the beast attacks and with no other choice, John shoots through Isabel into the beast. Both fall to the floor, and as Isabel passes on, Edward reverts to his human self. Isabel passes on cradling her cured son. It is revealed that 35 years later the wounded captain is an adult Edward, having the silver bullet lodged inside him ever since he was shot as a child. He passes on during the operation. In the next scene, with both their parents gone and their manor destroyed, John adopts Charlotte and Edward. Charlotte returns to John the 3 remaining silver bullets she recovered after the attack in the church, and an adult Charlotte returns the 4th recovered silver bullet to a now aged and dying John. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching, guys.